Welcome to EnduringTechnologyPress.com. I'm Eric. And earlier on in the week, we were out picking apples off of trees in our neighborhood and our own, and got about 10 bushels of these wonderful apples. They're not commercial perfect, but they're also organic, and the price is certainly right when you compare it to what you'd have to pay, or those agritourism things where, instead of going over and picking from a neighbor's unused apple tree and asking them, go and pay $5 a pound to have the privilege of picking them off of a tree in an orchard, when you could buy them for half the price already picked for you in the store. That just, to me, doesn't make sense. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy going out and spending a nice day, fresh air and stuff like that, picking these apples. But I enjoy the price in line with the labor I'm investing. So anyway, with 10 bushels of apples, I thought I'd share a little bit of my strategy for processing them and putting them back and making good use of them in an efficient manner. And I guess generally I prioritize sort of what grades of apples there are. The nicest ones, those get set aside for fresh eating, the ones that will last and store for a while. Sort of just down from that, I peel them. And those largely get frozen. And then through the season, we'll go dehydrate a bunch of those. We'll start dehydrating those as well. But realistically, with only a couple dehydrators, we don't have nearly the capacity to handle it. So that's where we go and freeze a lot of them. So we've got our big multiple kits of freezer bags. Also, we'll can a few spiced apples and things like that. But a good peeler, is really a key element in this strategy. I've got the Bonanza here that isn't a cheap peeler. It's awesome, and you can see one of the other videos that I've got up there showing how this works. It's the creme de la creme, I think. But this is what I had beforehand, and I still have it as a backup or a second one. It's one of those ones with the suction cup. Crank it through, it goes and peels it. It's not bad. Not nearly as fast as this, but if you're doing a more reasonable quantity, it's a good tool to have. Certainly faster and easier than hand peeling and slicing. And it's much, much more available and lower cost than looking to pick up a Bonanza that hasn't been produced for probably 50, 60 years, maybe more than that, and even then was a pretty industrial tool. So that's what I do with sort of the grade 2 apples, is I peel them. Next step for the apples is making sauce. And you can do this a number of the ways, but I love my Victorio food processor. The reason here is you get to take the apples, and generally if I'm wondering a little bit if they're good around the core, because that's often where you see a little bit of rot, I'll cut them in half, but otherwise just leave them whole and they look fairly solid, particularly after I've filled up the freezer and I can't stuff it full of any more sliced apples. Most of them just go into sauce as the next component. And you get to toss these in a big pot, and I frequently use my converted keg, but you can also use, which gives you 15 gallons worth of space. A little bit of water in the bottom. You boil these for a few minutes until they're soft, and then you ram them through this with the plunger. Your sauce comes out, your seeds and your skin, core, stem, all of that out, and it cranks out incredibly easy, incredibly efficiently. You can produce tons of sauce very easily. I've never found a better way to do it. And this is still available, these units, and they're reasonably priced. They're not cheap, but you'll pay for it on the first go. And we use the applesauce throughout the year, not just as, eating for fresh or with meats and things like that, but we also dry a lot as fruit leather or incorporate a lot into our baking. Third step, and I don't have it here in front of me, because it's a little bit big. We'll go and grind the apples. We'll also grind a lot of the peels and cores that come out from when we peel and slice the apples, the first grade apples or second grade apples. We'll grind all that up. We'll put it in the Homestead cider press, and we'll press some amazing fresh cider. And what we can't use is fresh cider or can for fresh cider. We'll go and ferment and get some really wonderful hard cider that is a really nice complement throughout the year. It makes a great beverage. So a bunch of things that you can do very efficiently if you have the right tools with apples. And these tools quickly pay for themselves when you consider that this just took a little bit of labor in the sun on a gorgeous day, and you get to know your neighbors and trade a little bit of stuff back and forth with them as thank you for making use of their apples on trees that would otherwise often go unpicked. So for more on these tools and other cool things to empower your independence, go to enduringtechnologypress.com. Thanks.